Hello, this is Lavistro, the Dragon of Cyberspace, coming to you with all news, tips, and tricks within the gaming spectrum. You know, I had to take an unintended hiatus from gaming news for a while. What with my birthday coming up, prepping for that, making some new intro videos for Phasmophobia Wednesday nights, now called Bazzy, Lavistro Plays, and as well as a birthday intro for Dragoncast. On top of spending time with the Dragon League and prepping for the Easter Bunny's arrival, I missed some pertinent gaming news. And those who know me, both off stream or even before I streamed, or maybe even found out while I was streaming, asking me about it. I love Elder Scrolls games. As you guessed, I decided I'm going to cover the Oblivion topic. Oblivion was one of my favorite games. But this kind of news we should take with a grain of salt, as it hasn't been confirmed. And it's just a prime example of when people love a certain game series, regardless of the bugs or features they'll still probably call it, fans won't wait very long before they start digging into your shit. For example, Elder Scrolls 6, right? It's been, over 10 years since the last title, and we haven't heard much news about Elder Scrolls 6, but there's rumors about a remaster for Oblivion. Now, we've seen what happens when Western game devs do remasters, and we shudder to think of it. It doesn't mean that it's going to be bad. It doesn't mean it's going to be good. But when it's not confirmed by the studio, it should be taken with a grain of salt. I'm just going to say that. And it could also be that this was leaked by the studio on purpose so that it would detract from a bigger statement. Who knows? There's a lot going on here. It could be, but my main point is, when it comes to these things, right? The fans will try to get news wherever they can. As is the case that Insider Gaming reports. Bethesda still hasn't addressed Oblivion Remastered, but the company site has. Keep in mind, this was their source from what I previewed, was a Reddit subpost, which, with Reddit, take it with a grain of salt on a pile of shit. Sometimes it's a diamond in the rough. Sometimes you're a gong farmer and you find that precious jewel. And sometimes it's just shit. Who knows? Elder Scrolls fans are waiting with bated breath for an official reveal or the shadow drop of Oblivion Remastered, which has leaked recently in a series of images posted online. The game has been the focus of a rumor mill for a couple of weeks, but the Bethesda Game Studios is yet to formally acknowledge that the game is coming. However, eagle-eyed netizens have uncovered references to Oblivion Remastered on Bethesda's website, including inspect elements to track down snippets of code. One step closer, Bethesda appears to be shaping up for the inevitable release of Oblivion Remastered, which should drop next week. It's the most publicized shadow drop ever, thanks to recent leaks. For some reason, Bethesda Games hasn't yet addressed the existence of Oblivion Remastered, which seems strange. This game will arguably sell plenty of copies, especially as it's coming to PlayStation 5. It seems weird that the marketing campaign is nulled, especially as Elder Scrolls 6 is likely years away from being released. On Reddit, users were able to track down some references to Oblivion Remastered on the Bethesda.net site. The first I hate that when it happens. I do apologize. On Reddit, users were able to track down some references. We've already read that Using Wayback Machine, it has determined that the references were introduced only in the last couple of days. And here's the thing they show, right? You have Viz.net EN dashboard with Viz.net static. Some codes here. I mean, this could be anything, and it says right here, Oblivion Remastered. Right. It could be anything. We're not sure, but just the fact is here because people hope that the remaster is coming. For the discussion, these Google tag references usually appear in days before the launch. They're used by websites to send data to applications like Google Ad Manager, which means the team at Bethesda Studios might be preparing a post-launch marketing campaign. Oblivion Remaster is set to launch in Game Pass from day one, which is effectively guarantees it'll end up on consoles, PCs of millions of gamers worldwide. Will you be one of them? So, yeah, that's the news right now. Personally, I didn't even hear about Oblivion Remaster being pointed out up until I was pre-using Twitter a couple of times. Classic Cage mentioned it. I believe Hypnotic mentioned it. But I haven't been able to watch those videos because, like I said, editing videos, and well, as you can hear, my phone's blaring out on occasions. I need to learn to mute that when I'm recording. Note to self. So I do apologize that I'm not going to choose this video because I don't have time. There's lots of games to cover. But what are your thoughts, viewers? Are you looking forward to Oblivion? Here's my take when it comes to remaster and remakes. And I stated this with Dead Rising Remaster. This is why I haven't gotten Dead Rising Remaster. If you're going to remaster your game, you should include all of the products upgraded. You omit something, you're not selling me a full product. Therefore, you're not selling me a remaster. You're selling me an unfinished product because it is as intended, right? So, for the case of Dead Rising Remaster, they removed the erotica feature. Now, you may have sensibilities nowadays, and your panties might get into a bunch. I don't give a shit. All right, I would say the same that they removed, say, humor, because it's undead zombies and all that stuff isn't humorous, right? Whatever the case may be. You might get rid of the drama feature, and I'll still tell you what you did was give us an unfinished product. You might say, well, this is based on a different time period. It was a different time. No, I'm sorry. No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to, because people try to tell me that with my son. Oh, we don't do this because it's a different time period. No, I grew up just fine. I'm not saying these are things that you usually sell to your kids. What I'm saying is, like with the case of my son said something that I found no issues with. He was just a boy being a boy. And the topic was he made a Pop-Tart, turned a Pop-Tart to a gun. Now, I did tell him, don't do that. But it's not a real gun, and boys will be boys. How they will do that. So, that tells you how old I am. But the school did not like that. In case of remasters like this, most games back then were made for the male audience, because even to this day, the majority of players are male. Doesn't mean there's never been female players. My sisters had no problems with Dead Rising. They had no problems. So when you're doing this is not to remove sensibilities or offensive issues. Because if it wasn't offensive back then, it was considered freedom of speech in America and in your country wherever you made it. And all of a sudden you're changing that and there's no laws saying you have to change it. Then it's for a political reason, or in the case of corporations, they're trying to cut out content for a cheap buck. That's literally what it is. They don't care about politics. They want to save money. And how do you save money? Let's not remaster certain things and just find an excuse that's easy to sell as to why you still have to pay a full price for an unfinished product. That's my concern with Oblivion. I hope that's not going to be the case. I hope we get a full remastered content. I don't think there was anything that was controversial in the game, but we'll see. I hope it's a faithful adaptation to the original. I hope it's a love letter to the fans. But we do have things like Starfield, which wasn't a remaster, but their last game. So yeah, let me hear your thoughts in the comments below. Again, as always, happy gaming.
Worlds clash in endless collision, gaming news with a fierce precision, with a spark so wild it breaks the norm. In the tempest's eye,